Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking something genuinely fascinating. We are diving deep into entrepreneur and investor Dan Martell's incredible playbook for scaling businesses to the millions. And we aren't just talking about your standard, everyday growth here. No, we're talking about strategies for scaling a business so rapidly that it literally feels like you found a cheat code. So if you're ready for an absolute masterclass in efficiency and speed, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, let's set the stakes here. Dan Martell's track record, it absolutely speaks for itself. The guy built and sold 3 companies for millions in under a decade. One of his recent ventures, Martell Media, actually scaled to a staggering $2 million a month in just 18 months. Today, we're going to decode the exact 12-step playbook he used to achieve that mind-bending velocity. We'll break the whole thing down so you can apply it directly to whatever project or business you're building right now. To get us there, we've organized this 12-step playbook into 5 distinct phases of business maturity: offers and generating cash, systems and buying time, unblocking and replacing yourself, blueprints and resolving retention, and finally, scaling sales and genius.
Let's jump right into phase 1, offers and generating cash. The core idea here, focus on cash, not perfection.
Here's the brutal truth of business, right? You only become an actual entrepreneur the exact second you sell something to a stranger. A lot of people love the idea of starting a business, but nobody actually wants to start selling. But listen, relying on invoices and receivables, that's just delayed growth. Getting cash up front, on the other hand, gives you immediate leverage. And why does this matter so much? Because you simply cannot pay your team with invoices. You can't reinvest receivables into your marketing today. Getting cash up front before you spend massive amounts of money to deliver your product is the absolute foundation of scaling with speed. But to get that cash, you need a highly specific type of offer. Enter the make them feel dumb to say no offer. This is a real game changer built on 4 pillars. First off, it's got to be transformation focused. People do not want to be featured to death with a boring list of deliverables. They just want their problem solved. Next, you have to inject urgency and scarcity. You let them know you're a small, customized team, and you only take on a handful of approved clients per month. Finally, the kicker, risk reversal. You offer a full refund if they follow your process and don't get the outcome. When you package an offer like this, it completely removes the buyer's hesitation. It directly leads to higher close rates and, of course, premium pricing. All right, moving into phase 2, systems and buying time. The mantra here is to build a marketing system, not just a marketing plan. Now, a quick warning on this one. Many entrepreneurs actually self-sabotage by throwing a metaphorical hand grenade into their business the second things get too quiet or when machines start working on their own. But we want predictability, not chaos. You create that predictability with a really simple 4-step flow. Step 1 is the camcorder method. Literally just hit record while you do the activity that generates leads. Step 2 is turning those videos into a course by documenting the exact steps. Step 3 is cadence, setting a firm schedule for when these tasks happen, Monday through Friday. And step 4, distill the whole shebang down to a checklist of 7 to 10 daily items. You do those items, you get the result. This transforms erratic, chaotic effort into predictable cash flow. But here's the thing. To manage systems, you have to manage your time. I want you to think about the number 500. If your goal is to make $1 million a year and you work the standard 2,000 hours a year, mathematically, your time is worth $500 an hour. So the absolutely crucial point is this. Anytime you spend your day doing $10 administrative tasks, it's actively costing you the difference. You are literally paying out of pocket to not be wealthy. Crazy, right? You need to relentlessly audit your day in 15-minute increments to spot these leaks. Which brings us to a total game changer of a concept, the buyback rate. The math is super simple but incredibly powerful. Take your annual income, divide it by 2,000 working hours, and then divide that by 4. The resulting number? That is the absolute maximum hourly rate you should ever pay someone else to take a low-level task off your plate. By doing this, you're profitably trading money for time, and then you take that freed up time and reinvest it straight into high-revenue activities. Of course, freeing up that time means absolutely nothing if you don't schedule it strategically. Just hoping for growth? Yeah, that isn't a strategy. You have to physically rebuild your calendar. You must block 10 to 15 hours a week exclusively for sales and generating leads. But here's the real secret hack. Match these tasks to your natural energy flows. If your creative energy is highest first thing in the morning, schedule your writing and strategizing right then. Protect this time fiercely. Next up is phase 3, unblocking and replacing yourself. The goal here is simple: delete the bottlenecks and increase throughput.
Look, once you're moving fast, things are going to break. Think of it like a car plant. If you have 100 chassis and 10 engines, but only 4 tires, you can only build exactly 1 car. Everything else is just expensive, useless inventory. Fixing that single bottleneck is all that actually matters. To do this at speed, Martella uses the 50 to fix it rule. It empowers your entire organization to solve problems without constantly waiting for your permission. An individual contributor can spend up to $50 to fix a bottleneck immediately. A manager? They can spend $5,000. A C-level executive can drop up to $50,000. They just expense it and tell you later. This drastically increases the speed of your business because your team isn't standing around waiting on you to approve minor roadblocks.
And you know what? The ultimate way to replace yourself is by hiring an executive assistant to manage the 2 biggest drains on your life: your email and your calendar. Think about it. Your inbox is literally just a public to-do list where anyone in the world can demand your time. You absolutely need an EA to guard it. Conversely, your calendar becomes this fortified system protecting your focus. Delegating just these 2 things will instantly buy you back 10 to 15 hours a week.
Moving into phase 4, blueprints and resolving retention. This is all about increasing talent velocity and plugging that leaky bucket. To scale fast, you really need to map out a 12-month org chart based on your revenue targets. Because honestly, you don't scale the business directly. You build the people, and the people scale the business. And when leveling up that talent, or yourself for that matter, remember this mantra: pay for the blueprint. Money likes speed. Why spend a decade trying to learn a process through painful trial and error when you can literally just buy the answer key? Martel shares this amazing anecdote where he hired a coach, and that single coach helped him make an additional $960,000 in just 12 months. Invest heavily in coaching, provide the necessary tools, and surround your team with the best talent.
But hey, all that growth is totally useless if your customers keep running out the back door. The catastrophic impact of churn is simple math. If you lose 10% of your customers every month, you lose 100% of your audience every 10 months. It is a massive leaky bucket. So what's the fix? Engineering quick wins. By providing clients with 12 quick, highly tangible wins within their first 48 hours, Martel actually dropped a client's churn from 10% down to 3%. You want to get them a result so incredibly fast that they feel silly for ever even thinking about quitting.
Finally, phase 5, scaling sales and genius. It's time to multiply yourself and stay in your absolute best zone.
To truly multiply your impact, we first have to shatter a super dangerous limiting belief among founders, the idea that nobody can sell your product quite like you can. That ego trap, it's the exact bottleneck keeping you stuck in the weeds. To delegate sales successfully, follow this exact 3-step sequence. Step 1. Script out every single talk track and objection. Make it highly detailed. Step 2. Record your winning calls. Your new reps need to see what winning looks like so they can use pattern matching to replicate your success. And step 3, hire commission-based reps. Pay them just enough base salary to cover basic expenses, but make sure they only get rich through commissions. This ensures they have a blueprint for winning without draining your cash flow on high fixed salaries. Once sales are finally off your plate, your entire job narrows down to just 3 core areas. We call this the CEO zone of genius. First, vision, determining what should exist in the future. Second, money, ensuring you have the capital to fund that massive growth. And third, people, making absolutely sure you have the best talent to execute your systems. If you aren't doing one of these 3 things, you are in the wrong zone.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a powerful question that essentially anchors this entire scaling playbook. What would the 10x version of you do today? Think about it. If you were already the person you needed to be to win at that massive scale, you'd be doing things differently right now, wouldn't you? You'd be valuing your time at $500 an hour, you'd be paying for blueprints instead of guessing, and you'd be operating entirely in your zone of genius, a place where scaling stops feeling like a grind and starts feeling completely effortless, almost like play. Take a moment to think about what that 10x version of you needs to change today. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep building.